Every metallurgist has been trained to believe that the higher the cooling rate during the quench, the better the mechanical properties of the steel parts. On the other hand, with conventional quenching methods in water, polymer, oil, or gas, the higher the cooling rate, the higher the amount of part distortion or even part cracking. Therefore, heat treaters have always struggled for a balance between a high quench rate for its better parts properties or a lower quench rate to reduce the probability of part distortion or cracking. The intensive quenching theory and practice proves that this curve is actually a bell-shaped curve. In the intensive quenching zone, very high cooling rates reduce part distortion and probability of cracking and at the same time provide superior part mechanical properties. With intensive quenching techniques, the heat treater can have both, better part properties and lower part distortion. Have your cake and eat it too. IntensiQuench is an environmentally friendly, interrupted quenching technique for the heat treatment of steel parts. The first step is very rapid and uniform cooling from the austenitizing temperature, usually in highly agitated water, until optimal compressive stresses are attained in the surface layer of the part. Once optimal compressive surface stresses are attained, the part is removed from the quench and the final cooling step is done in air or inert gas. In contrast to conventional oil, polymer water, or gas quenching, IntensiQuench methods provide higher as-quenched hardness to a deeper level in the part, while maintaining high residual compressive surface stresses and at the same time yielding low distortion. IntensiQuench processes can be used on oil, water, and even air-hardened grades of steel and for both single-part quenching and batch quenching operations. Since water is the quench media used, the heat treating process can be integrated into the manufacturing cell. Why does IntensiQuench process work? Let's consider a bearing ring. Due to very fast and very uniform cooling in the first step of IntensiQuench process, the entire part surface reaches the martensite transformation region at the same time, regardless of the part geometry and thickness variation. Therefore, the hardened martensitic structure starts forming in a matter of seconds simultaneously throughout the whole part surface area, creating a firm case or shell and compressive stresses on the part surface. This compressive case acts as a die holding the part and minimizing distortion. The result is a super strong part with little part distortion. This is in contrast to conventional oil, polymer water, or gas quenching, when martensite forms first in the thin section of the parts. A non-uniform martensite formation throughout the part surface results in part distortion and residual surface tensile stresses. The key element of the IntensiQuench process is to interrupt intensive water cooling when the compressive stresses on the part surface are at their maximum value. The IQ Technologies know-how includes software packages and real-life databases for calculating the proper cooling recipes for various alloys and for parts of different shapes and types. IntensiQuench process proven benefits. Surface hardness increased by 5 to 10%. Core hardness improves by 20 to 50%. Hardened depth increases by 50 to 600%. Improvement in part strength is 20 to 30%, and improvement in part toughness is up 300%. Residual surface stresses change from tensile after quenching in oil to compressive of up to 1050 megapascal after intensive quenching. Part surface life improved by 30 to 800%. Carburization cycle can be reduced by 40 to 50% or fully eliminated. Proven IntensiQuench has made super strong parts. Automotive and off-highway equipment components, agricultural equipment parts, bearing products, fasteners, forgings, railroad and mining equipment parts, hand tool products, tools and dies. What can IQ Technologies Inc. do for you? Let us demonstrate how IntensiQuench patented processes can make your steel parts super strong and less expensive. Contact Dr. Michael Aronoff, CEO, or Joseph A. Powell, President, for a free trial on your steel parts or for designing and building a turnkey system for implementing the IntensiQuench technology.